Guys, if you're listening or watching this podcast and you enjoy every Thursday, because on a Thursday you get the Sly Guy podcast, and you think, Thursday's my favourite day of the week because I get this podcast, I wish, honestly, in my heart and soul, that I could get more. Well, you can by going to www.patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast, where you get a guest episode on a Friday, you get vlogs, you get stand-up specials, you get early access to this ad-free on a Wednesday. You get the extra Sly Guy podcast on a Monday. There's loads of other stuff over there, and there's some old episodes and old series back there too, like the Serial Killing a podcast or the Champions League of Weird. There is a plethora, a library of old stuff over on patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast, and it keeps coming every week. So if this isn't enough, head over there. The link's in the description. Subscribe now for less than a cup of coffee a month. I would appreciate it, and hopefully you will appreciate the content too. Thank you. The Sly Guy podcast is also brought to you in association with the AST, the MODEST, the Modest Beer. And we all know what Modest Beer is now. Delicious, nutritious, and all available all over the shop now. And you're like, what do you mean by all over the shop, Dave? I'll tell you. www.modestbeer.co.uk. Go there and find out exactly where you can get your Modest. You can get your merch there too. You can get the brews letter, which is when you sign up, you give your email address in, then Modest send you a wee newsletter up to date with all the comings and goings at Modest Beer. There's merch on the website too. It's all gravy. And if you just are a wee bit of like too much of a I don't know if it's Gen Z or whatever the new wee internet freak guys are, you can just follow them on social media at Modest Beer. There you go. If you don't want to have to type in the World Wide Web, just bounce on over there and do your business. It's all good.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome once again to your favourite and my favourite podcast. Not my favourite, never listen to it. The Sly Guy podcast with me, your host Dave Elliott. Today we're keeping the train going. It's a guest podcast really now, isn't it? We get guests most weeks. This week is no exception. We have a friend of the show and recurring guest, almost co-host if you will. If I die he inherits it. It's Aaron Butler. It's always a lot of fun to have the butt man on board. This episode is no different. It's silly, probably cancelable stuff, but hey, you can check it out if you enjoy it. Also, while we're here, if you enjoy the podcast, I'm asking you for a favour. Other than subscribing to Patreon, which is technically a favour, but it takes a lot of work from me. This favour is just, if you like the podcast, wherever you listen, on whatever platform, give it a wee like, rate, review it, and then it helps the podcast grow. I'd really appreciate it. If you love listening to the podcast every week, you watch the video, you listen to the audio, take a wee screenshot, bung it up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and I'll share it all out just so we can spread the love of the Sly Guy podcast, get the word out there, get more ears on the... I nearly said a word that's probably offensive, but to describe myself, the ears on the tears. Get the ears on the tears by sharing it out there. Much love, appreciate. Sit yourselves down, buckle up, put a condom. I mean, put a condom on if you want. I mean, there's no. I wearing condoms is a smart thing to do. I should have worn more than I have in my life, but hey ho, let's go. This is the episode with me and Aaron Butler, the butt man.
Oh, we're straight into it. No lube, no kissing.
The butt man, the man who stares at butts.
Butt lord.
Butterbean.
Butt face.
The man who makes it his prerogative to enter your butt. Is
Butt
that
Angel?
one you've ever been?
That'd be a porn star's name.
Butt
Butt Angel.
Angel.
There's bound to be a Butt Angel in the homosexual porno community.
Bally Butt Angel? Like Ballykiss Angel?
I mean, that'd be an Irish version
Ballykiss
of it.
Butt?
Look, whatever way you want to spin it or vary it up, I'm just happy to be here today with you.
Jay Butler?
I feel taller than you, but it's because the seat is...
Yeah,
is
my
low.
seat's really low. I have a long upper body, and yeah,
I'm sitting upright more
Yeah,
than I'm trying. This is my...
that's good.
Because Lent's here, so I'm trying to get my posture better for
That's
Lent.
right. We've been seeing a lot of each other of late.
I love
you
it.
know, and I do as well. But one of the things that really stuck out in my mind was the other day you told me, Lent, you're going to...
Yeah.
Did you tell me you were going to do more? Am I right in saying?
Well, no,
or?
I was saying to you, Lent isn't about just giving up stuff. You can also go on things. So you could go on like, I'm going to go to the gym once every day or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. I am going off stuff. I'm going off pizza, chocolate, crisps, and fizzy drinks.
Oh, now, when you say fizzy drinks, does that include
That's
zero
zeros.
sugar?
That's zeros as well.
So what are you going to do? You're the zero man. You're Mr. 0%.
Tins of water, baby. It's going to be a very watery next 2 months for me.
Shit. So Lent is what's the time? Because here's the thing.
6 weeks.
Right. Okay.
44,
And have you-
45 days. The time that Jesus was in the desert, Dave.
Right, and you are a man who likes to document things. Like, you're a man who likes to
Yeah.
record sets, make notes.
Yeah.
Have you done any like before photos or anything of yourself?
Oh,
Yeah.
body-wise?
Yeah, just in case
no,
it changes.
Maybe
do you
I
know?
should, will I?
I think you should, yeah, because just out of curiosity,
See what happens.
you know, just to see
but
if
I
it
feel
is.
like I'd need to add in a bit of an exercise routine too. To do
That's what you
that.
say. You could do that, so you could add in just push-ups.
I could do. Yeah, should I just do push-ups?
Pretend you're in prison. In fact, don't pretend you're in prison, because then you
don't want to
will-
manifest that.
You will be a butt guy then, definitely.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think, maybe try something just out, because that's the one thing I always think that they say diet's 90%, like losing weight or whatever is 90% in the diet and what
I'm
you're
not
eating
like
and
out
drinking.
of
So,
shape or anything.
no, but it's just,
But-
that's why I think just to see, out of curiosity.
Just see what little.
Because I reckon, you
fluctuations
maybe,
happen.
just to see what the effect maybe sugar or fizzy or pizza has on you.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
You know, just since you...
Before we go any further
Yeah.
this podcast, I'm looking at a hair on your head.
Oh, no, where is
that's
it?
a bit out of place. No, it's not the front. It's
Oh, no.
actually like
Here?
I'm just going to
This
do
bit?
this. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
no.
you got it. You got
Yeah.
it. You got it. And
No,
I
sometimes-
I want you to look sweet all the time.
Yeah, but what I was doing there was a bit of work, you see, so my head was down. I was just looking for...
Where you grabbing your hair like it's like
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't know how I'm doing this.
You know, I was just uploading actually a podcast on the Patreon there, Dog Walks with Davey, number 54.
Number 54 renditions of dog
Yeah,
walks.
54 editions of Dog Walks with
Does
Davey.
the dog ever bark in the podcast? Like
Dog's
giving
barked
input?
5 times in his whole life, mate.
5 times?
Yep, doesn't bark.
Why is that?
Just, he's a chill guy.
Does he not have an urge to release his bark?
No, but when he does, it really gets me.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, "Rrr."
It's like one big massive one, so
It's like a subwoof. Like, cause like
Yeah.
my mum and dad have a
Subwoof.
dog, and he's just a wee dick, and he just
Yeah.
bah, 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 bah.
Is he a high pitched barker,
Yeah,
chirpy wee fucker?
he's a miniature Jack Russell, so he's a wee ball bag.
They're the worst.
Yeah, and then my sister's got a dog now, and it's yappy. It's a wee dachshund. It's just me, 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 me. But Vinny he's barked. I think I can't remember all the 5. I know it's been 5 times.
That's class.
And one of them was when he looked at his own reflection in like the window at night, and he just went, "Rrr." And you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
really. But he's not a big barker. He'll like do a bit of squeaking. Like, for example, this morning when I went on that dog walk with him, in the morning, if he sees me with a coat on, that's the most he'll get excited, because he'll know
He
that's
knows
walk
what's
time.
happening. Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, he'll just be going mad. His tail will be banging off things and be going,
Yeah.
and if you don't take him out, you feel so shit. But
Yeah.
I took him out today for the 54th rendition of Dog Walks with Davey.
Is there any days where you just put your coat on regularly and he doesn't get out
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake,
And
Beth.
he's such a huffy bastard about it too. For example, if we're rushed to take the girls to school, like Catherine's at work and I have to get them both sorted and I have the coat on to take
Yeah.
them to school, he thinks, oh, coat on, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's not, I feel like shit. I feel like shit when that happens, man. It's terrible.
But I'm glad you're getting out for your dog walks anyway.
Yeah,
Those
maybe,
are nice.
maybe I'll try something for Lent, because
What could you do for 6 weeks?
I mean, well, you know what? I have been being quite good anyway. I've been watching one meeting and trying
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
I think maybe I'll maybe incorporate a bit more training in. Now, I had a wee bit of an issue last night that I was reading Holly a book for bedtime.
And did you put yourself to sleep reading it?
No, I stood up and put my back out.
Really?
And I've never had my back go anyway before.
Did it make a sound?
It just wasn't good. I
You
got
could just
up.
feel a pain. Like
No,
a
I got
pinch?
up and was like, I felt like I was walking down steps, because like I actually got up out of my bed and I was like, oh no, like I stepped down, had to hold on to the side, and was like, oh no,
Wow.
this is not good. But then I shook it off a bit, but it was sore for the night, and I went, one thing for it, let's go to bed. Read a book, Tom Smith's book actually,
Actually?
Fearless. Yeah,
You're reading Tom Smith's book at the
yep,
minute?
yep, I am. It's my book for February.
How far in are you?
38 pages.
And what are the takeaways so far?
He loves Belfast.
That's good.
You
Nothing
know,
wrong with
big
that.
man loves Belfast.
I love Belfast too. I seen a video of him on TikTok. I don't know.
Tom Smith, the entrepreneur, shout out, friend of the show, been on the podcast before.
and he was. I remember you did it in here. It was the hawk on the arm.
Yes.
he was getting one of the. Have you seen the video
Yes.
of him doing it?
Uh-huh.
And
a fun
he's
time.
like, man, it's funny without trying to be funny.
Yeah.
because he's just like looking at this hawk, being like, I'm having a moment with this.
I know, that's my sweet, but yeah, I'm doing a thing. That's my, like, I've made a couple of things. I did something actually that I thought was pretty weird, but then I discovered you do the exact same thing. We'll get back to that in a minute.
All right.
But it was part of my. I wanted to write down some resolutions for the new year, and I wanted to try some different things. Now, I know the benefit of, like, people say you should read a bit more. It's good for your mind. It's good for whatever else. I also believe reading will help me sleep a bit better, because sometimes with gigging and stuff, I'll come in and fucking on my phone and I'm up to and I'm like, oh, why am I awake? Whereas last night I went to bed and we sore back, got my Tom Smith book out. Now, it's what date in February? 21st, and I'm only starting his book now.
I was going to say, for February, you've got to catch up now.
But made him 50 pages in.
Many pages is it?
I think there's 4 words in a page. But
Great.
you know what I mean? It's
a pop-up book.
Every book is, every line is a statement. You know what I mean? It's just douche, nice. And then there's a big space, douche. So I think I'll get through it probably by the end of the weekend.
In the next 4 minutes, by the sounds of it. Yeah.
But I'm reading that at the minute, so I got into bed, went for a sleep, got up nice and early, got the dog walk. So you know what? That was the thing I actually was discussing on this episode about. Well, it's another thing you're a knowledge in, but we'll go back to this.
I am a knowledge in many things.
It's buying followers. You know a lot about this. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I do, yeah.
Because that's what I was talking about in this podcast. So, first of all, the thing that you do that I now do was part of my New Year's resolution was to try to, be more accountable and, push myself a bit harder. One of those things that I've started to do now, I started to write the material I do in my sets in a list, so I can go back to make sure I don't do the same stuff too often or rely on one bit too much. Yeah. And then at the Riverside, I discovered you had a nice neat book where you're just writing your sets. And I was like, I have a set book now as well as the material.
A set book and a material book. Yeah. Game changer for me.
Yeah, and it's definitely helped me a lot.
I agree.
So even looking from the first set I did maybe in January, obviously a lot of old stuff, to now the middles and new stuff, and some stuff I tried there in Lisburn really went well. I'm like, I'm more confident than I'll do that again. So it's just, I think, to try to keep filtering new bits in.
Yeah, and the annoying thing sometimes what I do is sometimes I forget to write a set out for a certain gig, and then I'll go back and look for it, and I actually haven't did it, and then I'm starting to pull my hair out going, what did I do at that gig before that I can't do? And then I feel like I have to change up a lot more than maybe I actually should. But it's a good practice to be in. I think if you're repeating a similar gig, so let's say for example you do a Lavery's one week, maybe a month later you do Lavery's again, I think you will get a proportion of the audience that are different, so you can redo a little bit, but I would always go by a rule where it's like I'll do 50% of maybe stuff that I've did before recently, and then 50% that I haven't done either at all, or I've only done it a few runs and I haven't did it the last time I did it, and I try just always change it. It's never the same set I do if it's at the gig, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a good way to be.
It is, and that doesn't mean that like it'll be 100% new. Just means that anyone who comes will definitely see something different, even if they do see something that is the same as well. But even the same, like I think as well, sometimes I overthink it because I go, because if I think in my head, if I go, I can't even remember the last thing I did at Lavery's, the audience are most likely not going to remember the last thing either. So that's kind of a way to think about it as well. But look, that doesn't mean you should stop writing new stuff. You should always be writing new stuff.
But I think that's why I've started to do that, is to try to, filter my new stuff in quicker, if that makes sense. So, and I found it's definitely worked. But, I mean, there are some people who have no shame in it. They'll do the same set, the same place, years. There's people I know who, I've been doing stand-up, probably 12, 15 years now, maybe close to it, I'd say. And in that time, there's people still doing the same stuff that they've done the first time I've seen them.
Oh, there's people on our scene.
Wild. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Who
insane.
And like, I've no shame in saying it. Like, they can fucking call me out, whatever. But there are people who literally for the last 10 years have the same shtick, and you're going, it's not even that like. It's just, you just look and go, what are you getting out of that? Yeah. Like, if you know it works, then, like, surely you want to find the next bit that works.
Yeah, but that's, that's another thing that I think, though, is that, like, people, why are the reasons for doing anything?
Yes,
what are
that as well.
And for me, I like you get bored of bits, too. I like to do stuff. I like to write
even your
new
favourite
stuff.
Bits.
Yeah, and you have to, and then I think in life, too, if you're moving forward or you're progressing in anything, your view on it will change, or you won't want to talk about it anymore, or it'll not be like, for example, I started off doing bits about being on Tinder. You know what I mean? Now I'm married with 2 kids, not on Tinder, on Grindr, and
like all the other married men.
Exactly, and it's like I couldn't do those bits now because that's not where I'm at. You know what I mean? So that's why But then some people, you know, I don't know. Because then I also look at like, what you get out of stand up. To me, I love the craft of it.
Yes,
I love doing the gigs, but also I love putting shows together and putting the hours together. Where some people do it for other reasons, for social reasons. You see some people going out, they'll do the same stuff, they'll go up, they'll just do 5-10 minutes, then go and have pints, and fair enough if that's what you enjoy. But to me, I can think of nothing worse doing the same stuff. It'd be like fucking purgatory.
Yeah, I like doing it because number one, I like making people laugh. That's like the first and foremost. And then number two is like the challenge for me of writing the new bit and then trying to create the next new bit to make people laugh again.
Yeah.
That is like some fulfilling reasons I do it. And then on a lower level, it's like, oh, well, it also happens to pay, which is good, you know, but obviously we do this anyway.
Like there was one that was a real example to me as to what I'm getting out of stand-up. Happened to me the other week. I was doing a gig at the Pavilion. I'd asked Luke, can I do a spot at the Pavilion? I was like, don't worry about it.
When was the last time you did Pavilion before this?
Fuck. 5 years maybe.
So I only did it there
time.
as well. I headlined, and it had been like 2 years since I did it. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, you were saying.
But yeah, so I'd said to him, I was like, look, can I do it? Don't worry about a fee.
Yes.
It's not. I need to go because this is about me learning,
Just
preparing bits.
yeah.
And then stuff happened in the day where like my childcare wasn't available, so then I had to look after the kids. Didn't really get to look at the new stuff. And you know, when you're doing new stuff, you need to really have it looked at in your head. What is it you want to say? Why? Blah. And I didn't get to look at that, so then I did the couple of the premises, didn't work, pissed off at myself. Then I just finished on like old tried and tested stuff, and I was like, that was not only a waste of their time but my time too, and I was annoyed at myself. But then thankfully a saviour, because then I let gigs stick in me until I'm like back in the horse again. So it's like fuck until I get back on. Like when we did that awful gig we did before, it was a week before I did that another gig, and I was like,
that should not be named.
And I was just the Voldemort, we'll call it. And I was like, I was questioning my whole existence. What am I as a person? Should I even be doing this? Am I a good parent? You know, stupid stuff that makes no sense.
I had one of those at Christmas time, sure, that private gig I did at the Cozy Bar. Literally, I just came off going, I should never do stand-up ever again. Yeah. And then you just have to do a good gig to just be like, oh, it's okay. Yeah.
Because that was...
it's terrifying.
Which what I would have been different in the past was whenever we did the gig at the Riverside, you were like, do you want to do stand-up? Old me would have been like, I sit back here and eat pizza, don't worry. Whereas I was like, nah, I want to go on. I want to try some of these new bits. And I just want to, you know, be... Because I think sometimes if your set is so ingrained in your head that if there's any change, like there are factors that you aren't in control of, and if those factors are ever changed, it fucks up everything. So I think you need to be prepared to go on, have enough about you to you know, do a bit of crowd work, have a wee bit of material, work out some of the new stuff as you go. And then I loved it. It was great. We set worked well, we had a great live podcast. It was just a fun time, and I was like, good, I love it. Then again, when we went up to Lisburn on Sunday, I just come back from being away for the night, was a wee bit tired, and was like, oh, but then I'm like, you know what, I love stand-up at the minute, and I think when you love it, you just want to keep doing it. I thought the Lisburn gig was great, really nice time.
Yeah, Lisburn was a good gig. Cheers to Sean for
shout out to Sean, and also Lisburn, I'm sorry for saying what I said about you.
He's a Lisburn guy now.
No, I'm absolutely not a Lisburn guy.
Oh, okay.
I just want to let you know why I hated Lisburn. This is it. Now, here's the story. You can make what you want.
Because you had people come up to you after this gig specifically saying you hate Lisburn, blah, blah, blah. But go ahead, I'll let you explain.
And she was a secret emo as well, so you always got to watch out for those people. Emos are...
Secret
emos are scary. Emos are scary, but secret ones are the worst.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Secret emos just dressed in tracksuits.
Yeah.
But just big long fringe.
But then that's what gave it away. She had the black nails. And I was like, hey, I know.
Yeah.
But no respect. I enjoyed having a chat with her. It was good crack actually after the gig. But the whole point of it was...
Jesus Christ.
This
you
guy.
Kidding me? No.
Can't even talk to you on the day.
No way.
Can't even talk to you on the day he's doing his own stupid podcast, and here he comes.
For God's sake.
All right, boys.
What is this? This boy turned special happening?
SLY heads.
No, very original, disrespectful, coming in, looking like he's got full on. What's that thing that babies have when they've got no skin pigment?
Vitiligo?
No, not gout. Babies get it and they go all yellow, and their eyes go yellow. Jaundice. Yeah. You look like Jaundice Wick.
But it's a cute jaundice.
You know cute jaundice guy. Maybe it's because you're wearing this orange. It's bringing out.
It's setting it off.
It's bringing out the jaundice.
Could be. What are we talking about, guys? What are the issues?
We were actually having a real good chat about Lisburn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We were also talking in depth just about stand-up.
Yeah, it was a deep episode. Yeah.
It was good, but you've come in to
Come
ruin it.
in, come in and kind of fucked it. Yeah,
It's okay. We're happy to have you.
Yeah,
I'll go in a sec. But is there anything you just want to chat about or ask or?
Dave?
No, not really. What are you doing? Why are you still here? Is a good question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to eat. I'm starving.
Yeah. Where are you going to go and eat? Like
I'm gonna get a
this
Subway.
is you son of a
I know it's convenience. It's
You know
pure
what?
convenience.
I've been craving a Subway for a long time, but I just keep saying no to it. And now I'm jealous. Now I'm really jealous.
What do you get?
I got 12 inches.
Up your bum from a big juicy dick or what?
No, here's another thing. Actually, you're a man that'll know this.
You about to come out?
12 inches, it's a mythical number for a cock. There's no one kicking about with actual legit
is.
12 inches.
Thank God I'm here.
No. No. I've only seen yours semi, and it's not 12 inches semi. I've only seen you with a semi.
Hold on.
Never.
Hold on.
Because he was taking a piss and he saw me.
Why is he saying
He was taking a piss and then I walked in beside
Oh,
him and he went.
I remember this.
You know, he couldn't get full route.
I did that with my hand.
the police come in?
It was as if it was a puppet. He went. And the dick went,
I'd say there are people with those silly sizes of dick, but I think it'll be an inconvenience.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why mine is so small. It's micro.
Yeah.
You know, it's
a convenience.
Yeah, it's a convenience. It's a convenience.
Yeah.
Now, we had a wee bit of a chat whenever we were away at the weekend. Myself, Catherine, and another couple about, and she was defending
All right,
me.
dudes.
You know, he was the other couple.
Catch you later.
Good. Enjoy your
So
Subway.
yeah, enjoy your
Good.
Subway.
No,
How many inches are you going to take?
Oh, and I like to take 6
Twice.
and then see if I'm ready
Yeah.
for another 6.
Lovely.
I'll bring it home, put it in the fridge, and then shove it up me after that.
Nice.
Modestbeer.com/shyguy.
Yeah, modest beer.
20% off, free shipping.
Yep.
Yep, you don't get any of that.
You know it.
Just support them.
Aye.
Hey,
Yeah.
is that a tough year? Go easy on it.
Yeah, but his hair's looking good today. It's looking
It's-
good.
it's
You're looking like you've
transplant.
had a brush.
It's all trans.
Transplant. So Lisburn, before we so rudely interrupted by the guy who doesn't live in Lisburn.
Is he okay?
I don't know.
His kids haven't seen him in months.
No.
Months.
The thing is, his kids don't know he's their dad.
Yeah. It's
don't know.
been sad for them.
Yeah.
But look, we're here from.
So we're talking about Lisburn. I just want to say why I dislike Lisburn. Okay, it's just this is going to go beyond the silliness. Oh, Dave's gay and all. No, this is just real me. Right, this is real me. Straight, not straight, but straight from the honest. Why I hated Lisburn is because at the time, Holly had just been born. I was working a full-time job. And now, to be fair, the job I was doing, I quite enjoyed it at the time. It was quite a pleasant job. I enjoyed it. I was able to, be a father. I was able to be a stand-up. I was able to manage my own time a bit, and I was able to do a job that I felt I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. Then, I was living in East Belfast, enjoying life. Unfortunately, the family grew. The house wasn't fit for what we needed. We needed to move somewhere a bit Bangor. I'd say au revoir to East Belfast. I would move to Bangor, which we all know now is my heart's in Bangor. I love it.
You'll
It's
die
where I
there.
want to be. I will probably soon.
Well, yeah, that's why I said that.
Probably soon. I'll probably die there. I mean, hopefully not on stage.
No.
Literally, because Bangor's been very good to me and I love it there.
That's true.
But I moved to Bangor, got the house all signed up, about to move there. A week to go to move-in date. I was working in an office in Dundonald at the time. So between East Belfast to Dundonald, about 15 minutes.
Cozy.
East Belfast to Dundonald, 15 minutes. Bangor to Dundonald, also 15 minutes. So I'm working around. I move, yeah, but work's still handy. Same with my wife. She works in the Ulster Hospital. She's a nurse. Handy either way, East Belfast to Bangor. I get a call a week before I move house. It's my manager. We're going to move people around posts a bit. And I was like, all right, not really suitable. You're moving to Lisburn. So where I live to Lisburn, in the morning traffic, an hour each way.
Oh, easy.
So I'm losing.
Easy.
So I'm losing 2 hours of my day traveling back there. And then when I got there, my boss, for whatever reason, didn't like the role that I did, because the role I was slightly outside of like the regular office. We floated, covered an area. We had our own team based in. You know what I mean? It was didn't care for the job. Me and him just didn't get on. So he made life difficult. So it wasn't. Normally I would have been like gone out, done my visits, popped off on the way home, work from home, whatever, work from another office. I'd have just been hot, here and there. He was like, "Seeing you finish, you need to come back to the office and let us know you're finished, and then go home." So there'd be times I'd be out Hillhall direction, have to drive into city centre, walk into the office to go, I'm going to go home now. So park up the car, pay the parking, go in. I'm leaving now, mate. You know, when you'd be halfway home already. So that was a bit frustrating, you know. And added on to that, when I was in my office, I would just look out the window and be opposite At Us Now, the hair salon. Now, nothing against At Us Now, but what I do have a problem with is it says like barbershop and banter lounge. Now, whenever you're in an emotional prison inside your heart and your head, the last thing you need to do is look outside a window and go, there's a banter lounge right there. I'm so miserable. I want to be in the banter. I should be in the banter lounge.
Yeah,
and I'm not. And I don't even know what a banter. Like, what even is a banter? I've not seen any other banter lounge anywhere.
Never stepped inside one either, to be fair.
But I'm looking at going, I could be doing with being in a lounge full of banter right now. You know, and I'm not. I'm stuck in this place that I hate. And then I'm like, okay, pack up, go home, hour down the road. Now, whenever Holly was little, Catherine had postnatal depression, which, for anyone who doesn't know, not a load of fun. So whenever I'm away, I'm feeling guilt. I'm like, fuck, I need to be home to help and blah, blah, blah. And it just wasn't a good time in my life. All right. So I took it out in Lisburn, and I'm sorry. But I'm away from Lisburn now. I've had my distance. I'll go back maybe once every 5 years. And you know what? When I go, have a nice time. I went to the Lisburn light show maybe last year. Enjoyed it. Nearly killed Holly, actually. It's maybe 2 years ago. Nearly killed her before COVID because she was only maybe 2, so it was about 3 years ago. She was like running along. She had one of these wee puffer jackets on. I went to grab her to like lift her up, but the puffer jacket slipped, so I basically just threw her up in the air and she landed on the ground. I felt terrible. One of the worst things that ever happened. But I'm sorry I took her out in Lisburn.
Yeah. It's okay, right? Okay.
Dundonald's my least favourite place now, but it's fine.
Oh, you know, yeah.
But again, that's based on gigs, so
look,
don't worry.
We'll be fair to
move
say,
forward.
You didn't hate Lisburn, you just hated the commute, and the commute ended in Lisburn, so Lisburn took the brunt of it, and that's fine.
Correct. And another thing too, was I at that point at my mentally lowest in life? Was I suffering depression?
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm sorry, I took it out in Lisburn. Lisburn, consider this an apology for me. Now, did some of the things I've said about Lisburn in the past, are they still truthful? Yes. Are there more mobility scooters in Lisburn than any other town or city in the country?
Absolutely.
Yes. But, hey, it is what it is. Don't worry. The Bow Street Mall is the only place to park and it costs a fortune. But don't worry. Lisburn's
also a depressing place, Bow Street Mall.
Yeah.
Because everything's closed, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's closed. And that's how I felt in Lisburn. Just closed. I just felt closed.
Yeah.
You know?
Mouth, anus.
No. Let's not get ridiculous. There's still some things open. And there was another place too. Big shout out to iFixit.
Whoa.
You know? Oh, that shouldn't be on when I'm doing a podcast. But that's
so unprofessional.
You know what that is?
David.
No, that's the city of Lisburn texting me to say I appreciate
Congratulations. We've got the Well, look, I'm glad you rekindled your love for Lisburn. I'm glad that you're enjoying stand-up at the minute. And I'm also glad that me and you get to see loads more of each other recently because we've been gigging like two silly boys. And we're gigging again tomorrow night in Lavery's and that'll be fun too.
Do you know what? I don't know if the people want to see this or not, but there's a thing I do. Hey, I'm a guy. You know, there's a thing I do on Patreon. It's called a vlog.
Sorry.
I mean, listen, if
there was enough subscribers.
See, if I get loads of DMs being like, listen, I love to see that content, you know, and if there's enough to be like, you know, I get an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
We'll set it up. Anything has a price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's face it. But for the meantime, not happening. But I do this little thing called a vlog, and for whatever reason, you seem to be if I'm the Axel Foley, you're his white mate. Whatever he's called.
Yeah, John.
John, you're the sidekick, the co-host in most of the vlogs.
I've been in quite a number of them. Yeah. You need to link me to the recent ones when they come out because I haven't seen.
You've also done some sneaky, cheeky stuff on that as well. I saw you taking a pee with the the camera.
Who knows?
So
either way, yes, I enjoy Davey's vlogs and I enjoy our little. Because here's the thing, Dave, we will look back on those in 20 years' time and be like, remember.
Yeah, you know what? They are good ways to
like. Remember, we looked like that.
But you know, it was a lot of fun. We got a really fun shot actually. Whoa, from the Lisburn gig.
Your microphone got a root there.
I know it did. I was thinking about the last vlog.
Yeah.
But it was whenever I wrapped up my set, which went really well. Had a nice time. Came off and you handed me. You were filming. I took it and I got an instant reaction to the gig. Sweat still on the brow.
Oh yeah.
Great times.
You're a sweaty man when you perform.
So yeah, you know what? I'll maybe bring the old GoPro to Lavery's tomorrow night if I get enough time to go through my set. Now that being said, Lavery's is one of the only places where I find backstage you just get no work done. because everyone's just there having the crack.
absolutely.
So you need to be prepared before you
Before
get
you
there,
go.
because if you get there, you're not last minute looking over stuff.
Yeah, I wish I had more time before tomorrow to just do more writing, but I don't. But I've still got some new bits to throw in there.
Yeah,
like.
and I'm going to just flesh it out. I actually wrote a joke today, a one-liner, which I text my agent and said, listen, I'm not doing the Fringe this year, but if I was, I would win Joke of the Fringe.
Right.
And I told him, you know what his response was? Oh dear.
Oh, wow. It must be something then. It must be
Yeah.
something. But you going to do it tomorrow night?
Yep, I'm going to open with it.
Excited.
Yeah, I'm going to open with it.
Don't tell me.
And again, I've told some people, and it's actually a one-liner, so it's a wee bit outside my comfort zone. It's also Duolingo, two languages.
Beautiful.
It's in two languages. So
Such talent.
yeah,
Linguistical genius.
It is.
Dave Elliott right here.
It's wordplay. Like, I don't know what happened. I went to bed last night and I woke up this morning as William Wordsworth. You know,
Did the Lord above just send you the joke?
yeah, because I wrote another joke. You know, why I do a wee bit about Rihanna trying to have sex with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a new bit. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Don't.
One of the jokes in it that I was trying to think about, what I thought of today, was some wordplay. And I'll say it here because you'll see it in the joke or whatever. But Rihanna was saying to me, she was like, I said, listen, I can't, Rihanna, sorry, I'm married, whatever else. And she was like, listen, I just need a real man. I said, you've got a real man? She goes, no, I need a real man, not an abbreviation. I went, thank you. Because, hey, what's her boyfriend called? ASAP Rocky, ASAP Rocky, an abbreviation, Wordsworth. You know.
Beautiful. What a piece of art that has
Listen,
turned into.
and all I'm going to say, big shout out to Mr. Trigana, my English lit teacher at school. He would be proud of me for that. You know,
He'd be happy about the Rihanna joke.
and also big shout out to Mr. Trigana too. A lot of people are like, well, he was a guy who, in a school where you were driven to do the traditional things, he always let me read in silly voices, and he was like, I don't know what it is you do, but I like it. And I went, respect. And I saw Mr. Trigana cruising down the street not so long ago in a real dope car, and I was like, that man's enjoying his retirement. You know who he reminded me of a bit, looks wise? He was a wee bit like Brendan Gleeson, but a bit more kind of regal. You know, he was very cool, very like, just a top guy. Big shout out to Mr. Trigana, you know.
We'll be like that one day, Dave.
No, I will never be he's a cool guy.
Right.
I'll never be Trigana cool.
Okay.
Which we'll merch that. That'll be the first line of merch.
Trigana cool. I'm pretty sure that's the first time he's had that said about him.
And maybe there's the name of the episode, Trigana cool, but no one will know what that means. But he was like next level cool, like, and he let me do the wee silly voices and all. It was a nice time. Big shout out, Mr. Trigana, if you're listening.
Just shows you teachers are the ones who shape the youth.
Yeah.
If he didn't let you do silly voices, you would never have developed such vocal ability.
Exactly. And I mean, were there people in the class who were like, oh, this prick again? Probably. Yeah. But hey, I was Trigana cool, and he's one of the few teachers I'd be like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for letting me be me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have any teachers that inspired me or like.
Because you know where you get some people are like, they were everything to me. Like,
yeah.
Especially sport people. That coach, he was the one to.
Yeah. I don't really have any. Like, I had
one of my rugby coaches was like, so. He scared the shit out of me, but it made me harder. You know what I mean? Like, he made me tougher, and didn't care that I was a child. He would have said horrible things to me, and he made me feel terrible about myself. But, and then you see him out, on pints some night, and he's classic, so you like that.
The teacher that painted my face as Craig David is probably one who inspires me the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's a photo that sometimes pops up, and I feel like ever there's a day where you're going to be cancelled, it'll be that. But then you can be like, listen, I was a child, and my teacher painted me.
That's genuinely what happened, though.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't exactly running about the school going, make me black, please.
Yeah.
Like, what happened was, I was, in case anyone doesn't know this story, I was Craig David for our school's production of Stars in Your Eyes. For those younger folk who don't know what Stars in Your Eyes is, it was a talent show where you sung as the artist that you were performing as, and they dressed you up as them.
See, I always did wonder what made you choose Craig David, but now it all makes sense.
Well, back in the day, like, this was the time where Craig David, 7 Days, had just come out. This is one of the biggest UK garage sensations to ever come out at that point.
Yeah. Southampton's finest.
And maybe ever. And Bogue Selected was big at that time too. I didn't wear the plastic mask, mind you.
No, you just went for proper.
Yeah, I went for
black paint.
Well, I didn't go for it because here's what happened. What happened was, I show up. No one had approached the subject through all the rehearsals. We did like 2 months of rehearsals, and not once did we have a meeting and go, how are we dealing with this? Because also remember, it's 2001 at this point. The movement hadn't really started yet for all this sort of. There was no Twitter at this point, so people couldn't complain. Anyway, I go backstage, and the makeup person, Mr. Lawrence, the politics teacher, is the person doing the makeup.
So hold on, the politics teacher was the one that did it.
This was the establishment we had set up. He was the one
Nice.
that got it. Basically,
Nice.
what happened was
A guy who should know was like,
not even one of the female teachers. They basically just here's what happened. They put a fucking. They must have just lucky dipped and went, who's going to be on duty tonight? Because none of the other teachers wanted to stay late. They all wanted to get home. I think he pulled it out of a hat and went, I have to do it. They just provided him, the art class provided him with just a bunch of stuff like makeup or whatever else to go make it. So there was other characters. There was like Uncle Cracker who fucking...
oh, well, he's a white guy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like someone dyed their hair.
Cracker by name, Cracker by nature.
There was Michael Jackson. I don't know what color they painted him. He was in it.
What
too.
era Michael was it?
It was Smooth Criminal Michael. So
So he was
white suit.
like he was.
He
So
was
he
white.
was.
He was white.
Was he not a bit brown?
He was, but they didn't do that. In the
Okay,
thing.
okay,
So
fair.
there was that. There was like Elvis, all the usual shtick, and I was Craig David in the middle of it all. And so it gets to me so he's doing the makeup of everyone, and fucking on and on and on. Gets to me. I sit in the wee chair like this, looks at me, has a reference picture of Craig David that he looks at me again, looks at the picture, and then reaches into a white bag full of goodies, pulls out of the white bag a tub of brown Crayola paint, just starts, not even makeup, just starts painting my face brown. And I'm just sitting there, 11, 12 years old, just like, this is fine. And then I fucking get the whole paint on my face, get a wee change. By the way, didn't paint the neck.
No,
just did the face.
Literal black face.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
not the
yeah,
rest,
yeah.
just black face.
I
Yeah.
then go out to go on stage. Principal sees me and goes, who did your makeup? What happened? No, here. And the politics teachers, Mr. Lawrence, like, oh yeah, I did all that. He goes, why, what's wrong with it? And the principal goes, you forgot to do his beard, and fucking sent me back in to get a beard drew on me. So then I had the black beard, the tan. So then what happened was, when on stage, audience horrified, terrified, going, oh, we're literally watching a kid painted in black. But at the time, no one gave a fuck either. It was just different time back then. So then...
And also it's West Belfast, so it's still...
Oh, you could do it in West Belfast today, and no one would give a fuck. I'm pretty sure they're doing a production of Hairspray with all white people soon. And fellas. So then what happens... The results of that night happens, and because that show had finished early, they go, oh, we're going to read out all the results starting from last to first.
Yeah.
So they're like, in 10th place, Craig David. Keep in mind, I had 8 family members there. They announced I had 5 votes. So that means 3 of my family members went,
fuck that.
Nah, I'm not being associated with that. So then I start to cry because I'm 11 and I'm painted like a fucking idiot, and I've just lost a Stars in Your Eyes contest, came dead last with Craig David.
What song did you sing?
I'm Walking Away.
Oh.
I'm walking away.
That's quite nice. Yeah.
It wasn't that night, apparently.
You must be nervous.
No, it was fine. It was a fucking sweet performance, as always, but... So then what happened was I start crying, and the makeup, the brown paint started coming off, and so then there's just streaks of white amongst the brown, and then that was it, like. Yeah.
So it's something that hasn't stuck with you then? It's
oh no, I don't really think about it too much.
Emotional moment.
No, it didn't scar me for years or anything like that.
That's why you're so against like the blackface movement. You're like, it's nothing to do with
Nothing
what
to
it
do.
actually stands for. No race issues, but you're just like, no.
I just don't want
it's suppressed memories.
I just don't want any white kids getting hurt. That's all.
No.
All it is. I don't want them having bad experiences.
No, there was rumours about at some stage there being comedians.
I'll revive it for that.
Could we get Mr. Lawrence?
I'll just paint my body brown,
Yeah.
and I'll just do the face wipe.
Is that a problem though? Because it's called blackface is the issue. Is black body a problem?
Well, look at those bodybuilders that do those contests out in they black body.
But then their excuse is so much more classic. They're like, it's just better definition. You're like, but hey,
I want better definition on my face.
you know, imagine that. Yeah, but no, bodybuilders, that's a phenomenon that I just I love. I love the world of bodybuilding. I love everything.
What about female bodybuilders? How do you feel about them?
I like it too. You know, I like the whole. It's not necessarily the look. It's more the.
Would you be attracted to a female bodybuilder?
Depends. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be something I'd be like, I like that. Like, I like a fit physique, but I think there's maybe too far just for my tastes. Not to say it's...
Did you ever watch Killer Sally on Netflix?
No, she would be too large for me.
You've seen who I talk about,
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Like, that's too much.
I feel, yes. you know, I do feel that is slightly too far for me to be going for what. Like, here's the thing, bodybuilding is about having as much muscle as possible and as little fat, and then showcasing off symmetry, you know, just really, I like big boobs, you know, and they're just
Fun fellas.
big sacks of fat, like, and if you're losing all the body fat, you ain't going to have no big ditties, baby, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's an issue.
Yeah, but, you know, physique, fitness and stuff's pretty sexy too, you know, physique models.
Yeah.
You know, works.
Yeah. Oh, when you post this podcast, by the way, feel free to attach the Craig David photo. I have no issue.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, again, you can't really cancel me for it. I was fucking 12, 13 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't exactly showboat like the end.
No, and it was your politics teacher decided to do it. You know, he just decided that with Crayola paint. Like, how fun would that be when you're a politics teacher? You're like, not anything to do with the colour of the paint or what it stood for, just to be going, you know what, I don't even face paint, I'm just using real paint on a child's face. I hate them, so fuck them.
Oh no, he did like me, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because he did a great job.
Was he kind of cool?
Yeah, he was.
Nice.
He's a good lad.
Nice.
The R.I.P.
Oh, is he dead?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Oh, no.
He might be.
No, well, there's one way to find out.
I'll get in touch with the
Get
school.
in touch with the school and say, I mean, he could be, if he was about nowadays, there would be a mob of people trying to get him for
Absolutely.
for what he's done to you.
Aki meant no harm.
Nobody.
He meant no harm.
He did.
But yes, they're talking about, what were you, is Comedian Stars in Your Eyes coming up soon?
Apparently so.
I would be up for it.
Let's see.
Don't know who it would be. George Michael, maybe?
George Michael, yeah. Well, can you do a George Michael style voice?
Don't know. It's a hard voice to do, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like.
Do you know? Have I told you about my George Michael story? That's pretty weird. That is, it's about Kieran.
Did you meet him in
Bartlett
a
kinda
toilet?
too. No, well,
Did you meet Kieran Bartlett in a
it
toilet?
involves being in a toilet and George Michael, right? So
Alright.
what had happened? Kieran does a bit in a set where, I mean, I don't think you'll mind me saying, where he does like,
Oh, yes.
he sings, you know,
Parody.
Faith, isn't it a parody of
Yes.
Faith by George Michael? And it was in my head, the wee song he was singing. So say that, like, you know, when he sings Faith, he goes, I guess it would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had nice in my head, because then Kieran would do words that rhyme with nice to sort out in a set. So I just had nice in my head, right? But also what had happened, I'd been given the money for the night of the comedy, so I'd given the fee to pay people. But for whatever reason, when I got given the money, it was a wee bit sticky. And you know, like plastic notes now, I was like, yeah, I don't like this, I don't like giving people plastic notes. So I took the money with me into the toilet, right? And I was just going to wash, literally laundering money, right? So I was just washing it. But when I went in the toilet, you know the toilets I mean, when you open, you can't see behind the urinal, so you so I went in, just thought I was there by myself. I was washing money, just going, nice, nice, like this, nice. And then there's some guy at urinal being like, probably looking around, seeing me washing hundreds of pounds, literally going, nice, going, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
That's very weird.
And I mean, that's probably like, if I always find when people see us on stage or whatever, they maybe have a view of what we're like. One woman particularly tell me, you're a terrible parent. The best parent there is. I'm just doing a bit, right? But they have this in their head, I think, that like doing stand-up's mad. There's no more of a loser thing to do than stand-up. You know what I mean? Anyone that thinks stand-up's cool is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you go, but it's just a load of people with anxiety, worried whether we're going to be funny or not. And then when they're finished, like, I'm very tired, I'm going home now.
Yeah.
There was a girl came backstage at Pugs once to get a photo with me and Mick. And she thought like we were probably going to be doing coke or drinking pints or something. She came back. He was convincing me to use an aloe vera hand cream. And he was like, you try this. I know it's very watery based and all, but give it a rub. And we were rubbing in, being like, oh, I do. It's actually not that sticky. And she was like, what are you doing? We're like, I'll just put on some hand cream. And she was like, that's not what I... Like, well, hey, this is a real life, you know what I mean? Just guys moisturising, flat out.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Do you want us to be doing coke or something?
Yeah, but you know what? I've never been a big drinker, drug taker.
I was going to say cokehead.
Ever. No, you know what? Here's the thing. Never done coke in my life.
Me neither.
You know, I've smoked cannabis, yeah, because I'm a hard bastard. But other than
That's
that,
right, you
haven't
are.
done anything else.
Yeah.
Because my mum told me growing up that she wouldn't go to my funeral if I died of a drug overdose. I was like, all right. She goes, drugs are bad. And then she kept telling me too. She was like, and if you did cocaine, it would trigger you to have a heart attack. And I just had this drilled in my head how cross she would be at my dead self. Not like how sad she'd be, how cross. So I just never did drugs.
Yeah.
You know, and then last time I think I had any weed. In fact, last time I had any weed was at our friend's house. Our former FNT alumni, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not name them, but
Yeah.
the time before that was at the Fringe. And do you remember, like, whatever strain it was, just felt like my football shirt was sticking to me. I was like, oh, I'm too hot here. I'm too, you know, didn't like it.
Fair enough. That's not for
Didn't like
everybody.
it, listen, but each to their own. If they're doing it in a legal way, I respect it. If it's in a country where weed is legal, fair enough. But other than that, it's just not for me.
They should all go off it for Lent.
Yeah. Why don't you go the opposite? You should do...
I go on weed.
You go on weed and you bring back the Mr. Lawrence face paint.
Yeah.
Be Craig David for Lent.
I go on blackface for Lent.
You go on blackface and weed for Lent.
Yeah.
Right, what we'll do, we'll get into some questions.
That would be swell.
And then we'll bounce because I have to go and look after my children.
Ugh.
Ruin everything.
They're the worst.
Psychic, no. Only joking. Just wanted to see you get scared. I just had a message from Glenn.
Sure.
Dean McAllister says, not a question,
Okay.
which is weird because it was a call for
A
questions.
statement.
Not a question, but every time I see you both, you get better and better. Keep up the great work, lads.
That's lovely.
That's nice, Dean, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Dean. The comments like that are what make it worth it, hey?
Naomi Mitchell says Madeline McCann's on Instagram.
No, she's not.
I am Madeline McCann.
That's not.
Have
you seen this story?
No, I haven't. Please, I've seen it a bit.
Mm.
Again, Psychic Glenn told me look it up.
Does Psychic Glenn think that's Madeline McCann?
He thinks it might be. I said,
It's
Glenn,
not.
you should know. I'm going to say I don't think that is Madeline McCann.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I would more than anything in the world love it to be.
Yes.
But I just don't think it is.
No, that's just a disturbed girl who thinks she's Madeline McCann.
So what's the story here? You're obviously nearly 1 million followers. This I am Madeline McCann.
Story is this girl is basically saying she's Madeline McCann, but she's not.
No. And why does she say she's Madeline McCann?
Because she's probably begging out for attention. Now, if it comes out in a week's time she's Madeline McCann, I'm very sorry about that.
I mean, in that particular photo, she actually looks more like Matt Lucas.
She does look more like Matt Lucas's child than Jerry. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think it's sad.
But why are people not going, either you're not Madeline McCann or...
The ages apparently don't mesh up.
Yeah. But then surely...
Because Madeline would be 21 right now, I
Yeah,
think.
she looks a bit younger than that.
No, she's 23, I think.
23.
Yeah.
No, the whole Madeline McCann case, nothing makes me sadder in the whole wide world. Nothing.
It is.
It's terrifying.
It is. It's very unfortunate. I watched the Netflix documentary on it. It was
the worst.
It was
Made me
terrible.
sad.
Yeah, and it was also the way they made. Do you know what annoyed me about that documentary? They made it seem like at the end of the first or second episode, like, oh, you're about to learn something that no one else knew, and it was like, oh, it was just about the sniffer dogs in the boot or whatever. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's the worst. It was like that lady, Nicola Booley, who went missing. I was sad too, and then people are like, this is what I don't get about people, right?
Yeah.
The guy who was like brought all the equipment to look in the river, they're like, what the fuck's he doing? I was like, brother's trying to help, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't hate on people.
Yeah.
And it's sad, unfortunately, she has died. Obviously, it looks like she's maybe had mental health issues and has decided to do that herself, which is awfully sad. Or if she fell in, again, a tragedy, a woman's lost her life. Let's not speculate, but
Yes.
yeah, all that. See when people see this whole new generation of like internet sleuths, I don't like it. And it's like, I know, it's like, do you, mate? Are you a detective?
That is the bad thing when it comes to the internet, because you will just get people commenting going, well, I heard that their family situation was blah, 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 and it's like, all that stuff's just adding nothing. Like,
yeah, and then there's no hard evidence. And you know me, I'm all about the hardness. I like to
we
receive.
are all about hard.
I like to receive hardness when it comes to my evidence. But I'm going to say this, and I'm a guy who...
You are?
I'm a guy who judges things. I am Madeline McCann. Does she follow me? No.
So it's not the real one.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously that's not real, and it's weird that that's a case. Dominic has said... Dominic. I don't know what.
Dominic?
You know, that's nice. You know, Dominic is the guy from Kindergarten Cop. You know, the wee boy. Come on, Dominic, no! Dominic says, does Butler like it up him?
Yep. Yeah. I like it up me.
Aaron, I'm looking forward to coming to your solo show, Africa.
Yeah.
But
Good
what
lad.
local comedian solo show have you been to and have been a personal favourite of yours? You're allowed multiple answers.
Oh. Fuck. I don't think I've been to any recently. That's the only issue. Like, what usually happens is I'm either doing support for someone else or I'm doing support in the night and I've already seen it like 5 or 6 times, so it kind of takes the luster off it a little bit. But look, all the lads shows are fucking great. Like, all those solo shows you'll go to are always a good night out. My particular favourites, obviously your last one that you did was
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
It was really, really good, and especially when you did it at the courthouse there recently, it was
Yeah,
great.
got a film that'll be on the Patreon too.
Yep,
Patreon.com/SLY podcast.
Yeah, there's low.
I mean, you can stop there. It's fine. You know,
No,
I don't
I'm just
mind.
trying to think. But honestly, it's when you're, you know yourself, when you see everyone's bits so often,
Yeah.
it's hard to like be like, oh yeah, that was the,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, Matt wants to know: would you rather walk around with salad for head or broccoli for arms?
broccoli for arms.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably.
Yeah, because you don't want a big salad head.
And then people would just call you salad head, wouldn't they? Which would be
Yeah,
pretty
I'd
shit.
rather be called broccoli arms.
Yeah, because you could hide the broccoli arms, put gloves on.
You could
put
chop them off, eat them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just have like prosthetic hands.
And then that would be your nickname.
Prosthetic hands?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oscar Pistorius arms, eh? Fucking, that was the worst.
Yeah.
Mel Deeney's got a question specifically
That's a great
for
name too.
you.
Sounds like a pizza
Yeah.
place.
Mel Deeney. I think her name's Melissa in real life, but she's going by Mel Deeney. Like,
Mel Deeney,
I don't know
love
whether
her.
she's a solid defender, iconic. But Mel Deeney says actually not a question. There's not been many questions here, just statements.
People just like making statements to me.
Not a question, but tell Aaron that in his Every Town song, I am very grateful that he mentioned Green Island. I'm originally from there, and no one ever fucking knows where the place is.
People know I put Green Island on the map with that song. That's the whole reason I did the song. Like it was a Trojan horse song to get Green Island into the mainstream, and I feel like I've done that. That song's, it's played at the Christmas lights, Green Island.
Yeah.
It's just that one bit of the song, and yeah, I'm happy that I could provide that for you. People do comment on that video being like, "You missed out fucking Kelly LeMay or whatever," and you're like, "I didn't miss it out. I left it out on purpose because your place is shit."
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
There you go.
I like that, but I've just read an email which I'll read you after, which I'm gonna have to just shut down instantly.
Oh no.
Instantly.
Oh dear.
Yeah, terrible.
Pedophile hunters NI.
I mean, could be worse than that. Let me see. A great question here to finish. Very appropriate.
Love a great finish.
Brona wants to know: does Aaron Butler have a good enough butt to have the title of Buttman? If not, what would be a more suitable title?
Well, it's not Dick Man, tell you that much. Yeah, I think I've got like a nice arse. Like
Yeah.
it's not too in your face, but it's got like a little bit of a dump on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
How much of your hand and fingers do you need to put in there to wipe it?
I usually get like about 3.5 hands up there.
Nice.
So
'cause-
it's an assisted wipe.
yeah, and assisted wipe because
Yeah.
when I wipe, I don't really have a butt at all. I have really no ass. I'm literally, my body's like, I'm like a box of wine. I'm just a
Yeah.
big square with a hole in it. you know?
Yeah, you're like that Marvel
That's it.
villain. You'll not get this, but there's a Marvel villain called MODOK.
And he's known for not having an arsehole.
He's known for having like this wee tiny. In fact, I'm going to send you a screenshot later. I would love to find it, and I will take me
Yeah.
too long to find it. I'm going to show you after we stop recording. This guy is like just.
Wee Modoc, like.
you.
Yeah, that's me.
You do have just quite the inward arch, don't you?
Would I be called? Catherine refers to my bum as a hinge because she says I don't have a bum. It's just a hinge joint between my legs and my back, my upper body and my lower body.
Yeah.
Just a wee hinge.
Yeah, but the benefit is it makes you quite nimble in circumstances. Like when
Yeah.
you do your dance move where you hit the back of the floor,
Yeah.
that's because you don't have the arse
True.
counterweight.
And also, I don't need to wash my hands when I wipe my bum because I'm not touching anything. I'd always do wash my hands.
You always do. You're a very
But,
clean guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Like, what is a problem? Like, if I sit down, sometimes my pure anus is just touching things. Which, if I've got Patty McDonald's anus, that's a problem. But Patty's got a bit of a meaty dumper on her, which helps, So, I mean, that's an in-joke. We're talking about Patty from the last.
Yes.
But you know what? That'll be featured on the vlog. On
There you go.
Patreon.
Oh, you'll find out.
find
If
out.
you want to find out about Paddy's
Hole.
arsehole,
Yeah.
that's where you go see it on Patreon.
Yeah. Speaking of wiping up, closing up, finishing
Sure,
up,
Sure.
is there something you'd like to plug, which we can maybe put in the description
Guys.
of the episode?
I'm half sold out on my final show for Africa at Lavery's Comedy Club on the 7th of May. I thank everyone from Dave's podcast that has bought a ticket because I know you have.
Can I just jump in there a quick second?
Yes.
You said there you're selling your show for Africa. Your
Did
show's
I?
called Africa.
Show's called Africa.
It's not for Africa.
No,
You
the
don't-
proceeds are going.
Are they?
Not
In a
really.
roundabout way, a few
Well,
pennies?
if they go to me,
Yeah, well, that's true.
hey,
Fair.
it all plays out.
Yeah.
So yes, those are half sold. So the other half left to sell. 2 or 3 months to go. Thank you everyone bought one so far. AaronButlerTickets.com. I'll see you all there.
Take a link in the description.
Sly guy, Sly hard user, the best.
Yeah, Rider Slides as well. Don't forget those guys.
Rider Slides.
Listen, guys,
These are all the best.
it's been a pleasure. It's been fun to have you on. It's been a bit of a different episode this week, I think.
Ups and downs, highs
yeah,
and
you seem like a
lows.
wee bit tired from
I'm alright.
from the day, maybe.
Yeah.
I was a bit tired too. Then Shane came in and fucking ruined everything.
He did. He brought
Took
the
the
mood
energy down. Fuck
He
that
really
guy.
did.
But you know what? It's been a fun time. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for everyone listening. As I said before, if you enjoy listening to the podcast, rate and review it. Subscribe wherever you get so we can keep it consistent, and share it out in socials too. You know, if you're listening, screenshot it, Insta, tag me, tag the Botman.
Yes.
You know, we'll put it out there. It's all
Yes,
good.
yes.
Until next week, au revoir.
Bye.
I'm the sly guy.